Hi everybody, it's Dave Juno. How y'all doing? I hope you're all doing well. I really wasn't doing well this morning. I thought I was until I got to the store and yeah, I don't know, the lights, whatever, something hit me in there. And I've been in a flare, and I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, this is great. I feel good. And then when I got to the store, it was downhill. I got what I had to get and got out. And slowly but surely, I waited in the parking lot for at least a half hour, and just got to get to the light, got to get to the next light, got to get to the next street. I set those little goals like I made in the video earlier, and slowly but surely, I got home. Normally a 10-minute ride took me 20 minutes from the time I left the parking lot to the time I got home. But I got home safe, and things seemed to calm down a little bit. Tinnitus is just really roaring, and I'm really tired. But I wanted to make another video about SSDI because I have been getting questions recently, and I have seen questions in groups. So I figured, well, I know I've made 3 or 4, and instead of sending out the 3 videos, instead of sending them out, posting them in groups again, why not make a new one? Okay, because Meniere's disease is extremely hard to get SSDI. It's not a known disease, a well-known disease. It's a rare disease, according to everybody. Even though it's on a list of automatics, it's still rare. Now, I know there are people who have applied the first time and got it, okay? And that's just the nature of the business. It's like playing craps. You know, you roll the dice, you get a 7 or 11. I mean, it's like rolling the dice. You might have somebody who sees your form, knows exactly what Meniere's disease is, and says, that poor person, you got it. And then most likely people go shake their heads and go, what's this? And then they deny you, which I got denied the first time. Now I'm going to tell you about the story of how it happened. Back in April of 2018, I was told I could not work anymore. And I was like, okay, what do I do now? So I called my boss and I talked to him. I said, listen, the doctor says I can't work anymore. I really want to keep trying. And he's like, if the doctor said you can't work, you can't. He said, but I'll tell you what we'll do. He said, because you've been here for 30 years, we'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put you on a short-term disability, which will turn into a long-term disability for 2 years. And then if you do happen to say, you're not going to get better, but maybe you level out, you can come back and work. Your job will still be here. If not, then you can go on SSDI or do whatever you want, because they're going to cut you long term off. You got 2 years. I'm like, oh, okay. That sounds good. So I did all the stuff for short term, got that. After 3 months, it turned into long term, which long term is a year and a half. Well, in between that time, I had a labyrinthectomy done on my left ear. And the physician's assistant screwed up paperwork and said I went back to work the day I had my surgery. I don't remember the day I had surgery. I don't remember the day after surgery. I do remember I was in the hospital for about 4 days. I don't know why. They were monitoring me for something. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, so short-term, long-term disability said, well, why give him another year? He's already back to work. I wasn't. So my long-term disability from that company got shut off. And I was terminated. And that's fine. Okay, I mean, there was a mistake. We tried to correct that mistake. Even the guy who made the mistake wrote the company and said, listen, I made a mistake. Please reinstate this person. My doctor was doing it. Everybody was doing it. Nothing. So I had already applied for SSDI through Allsup. Okay, Allsup's a very good company. If you're thinking about going to SSDI, you really might want to check out Allsup. They will help you all the whole way through. So I had already applied through there and got denied once. And then I was going for my appeal. My appealing it, which I got denied again. So in between that, I told Allsup, I said, well, what do I do now? And they're like, don't worry about it. Get your lawyer, Boston, here's his name. He's going to call you tomorrow. and we're going to get you, this is all going to get settled. And I went, really? He goes, this guy's got a 97% rate. They were extremely honest with me. Because I looked up the guy, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So the guy did call me the next day. Hey, we're going to nail this. We're going to get this. I read your report. I don't know why they're denying it. And we're talking and talking and talking. And this is where I always say, journal comes in handy. And it was the best thing Gina Marie ever told me to do. I will give my friend Gina Marie Kalitz, you know, all the credit for this one. I started keeping a journal. So this is why I say keep a journal, and that's why Gina told me to keep a journal. So I told him, I said, I have this journal where I write down all my attacks, and he said, I want that, fax it to me. I went, okay. So I went downstairs, scanned, I don't know how many, 30, 40 pages of stuff, and I went down to church, and where I go to church, and asked him if I could use fax machine. I said, yeah. And I faxed all of it over to him. And he was like, oh my God, I still have to do research, but you just saved me a ton of work. This is awesome. He goes, you're probably going to get it. You know, don't be surprised if we don't go to hearing just because of this. And I said, okay. And so we ended up having to go to a hearing. And, you know, when you're in a hearing, okay, the judge is another lawyer. It's not a judge, but you still refer to them as Your Honor, or yes, sir, yes, ma'am. You don't talk unless they ask you something, okay? That's the biggest problem, and my lawyer told me this, is people don't know when to shut up. He goes, you speak when spoken to, you answer clearly, concisely, short answers, and you let me handle the work. And that's exactly what I did. And so he did say to the judge, Your Honor, did you get the faxes I sent you of the list of the journal that he keeps of attacks? And she goes, oh yeah, I got that. And she's like, she went over it again, and she was like, no problem, this hearing's over. You know, Mr. Juno, thank you for your time. You did, and she told me off the bat, you did an excellent job. You weren't even nervous or scared, which I was, but it was on the phone. How is she going to know? So I said, thank you, Your Honor. And then everybody got off the call. And then the lawyer called me right back. He goes, man, you were perfect. He goes, that got you the SSDI. She already made a decision. That's why she ended it. And 4 days later, I had back pay from 2018 in my checking account. And a letter came from Social Security, and also a separate letter came from the judge thanking me for having the journal and doing all this stuff. More people did this to you, they would get SSDI right away. There is, if you do it online, in the letter, I don't even have the letter anymore, said online you can submit that stuff. She said, but thank you for all your hard work that you did, and congratulations. And I was honored. It was a private letter. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts or Social Security. It was separate from her. And I called the lawyer, and he said, yeah, that's her. She does that when she knows somebody's really good, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. But that's the thing. You know, Meniere's disease is so rare that you don't get it the first time a lot of times. Sometimes you do, like I said earlier, but you don't get it all the first time. And you may get it the second time, but not usually. You usually have to go to a hearing, and where COVID hit, my hearing was, you know, by phone. So, you know, it wasn't in front of somebody. But the thing is just, you know, you be honest, and that's it. And, you know, you get it, you get it. You can still appeal the third denial, too, and they don't really shut you off. I think it's like a year you have to wait. But, yeah, I mean, you got to, you know, like we always say with Meniere's, is you got to be your own advocate. Sometimes you got to be your own advocate when you file an SSDI. Even though you got a lawyer, even though you're using a company name also, or a company to help you get SSDI, you have to be your own advocate. But the best thing I can tell anybody about to get SSDI is right here. Keep a journal, keep a record of attacks, because that way they know you're getting sick. And it's good for your doctor too, because every time I go to my ENT, he goes, "How you doing?" And I go, "Let's open the book and see." And I open the book and we bop, 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 bop. And he goes, "Okay." And so it helps him too, because you can't sit back and think, you know, I see my ENT, now it's every 6 months, or it was every 3 months, and now it's every 6 months. I see him every 6 months. I gotta remember what happened. You know, I gotta go in June. I'm not gonna remember what happened in December. You know, what happened in December? I don't know, Christmas. You know. So you gotta keep a journal. You gotta keep a record of what's going on. And it's going to work for you both ways, both with your doctor, because then they can tell what's changing, what they can do, and this and that, and tests to do. And it will help you with SSDI, because because Social Security will know how much you are actually suffering. So on that note, it's 11-minute video. I'm going to let it go at this. If you got any questions, feel free to comment on the video. I will get back to you. Usually I'll get back to you right away. If you comment, emails, nah, I don't check them that often, but if you comment, I will get back to you right away. If you like the video, that's great. And if you do like what you see, hit subscribe. And the bell for notifications when I have make a video. And there is 3 other videos on here for SSDI. So you might want to check those out as well. I just didn't feel like reposting an old video. That's why I made a new one. But you can check them out, because there's more information and things like that. And that's it. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.